So I'm back in Vancouver for the second time in 2 months, and Cam is showing me around a new photography studio he's become a co-renter on. The reason for this trip is because for the months of April and May, we haven't been happy with the quality or quantity of videos we've been making. Some of that's because of breaks in efficiency on our end, and the other reason is we just hit a creative wall. Now, if you ever tried your hand at writing a novel, a screenplay, or just painting a blank canvas from scratch, you probably know the feeling I'm talking about. For me, this time is usually spent staring at a blank screen, pacing around my kitchen, and wondering if I ever had any talent to begin with. None of these habits are actually very useful for breaking out of a slump. So instead, I want to make a short video to explain what Cam and I are going to do to try and fix the creative rut we've been in, and I'm going to lay out 4 things anyone can do to fight creative stagnation and hopefully pull yourself out of whatever slump you feel you might be in. Number 1, fill the tank. Regardless of your area of interest, be it writing, music, or painting, whatever you're consuming will have a direct impact on what you produce, so absorb as much as you can. Even though Cam and I aren't looking to make YouTube videos that are breathtaking cinematic achievements, we still want to challenge ourselves visually, so we've each selected a series of shots and sequences that we think are excellent. They can be from acclaimed classics, blockbusters, or offbeat cult films. The goal is to find images that excite us, whether through a use of color, shot composition, movement, or depth in the frame. We want to see if we can find new ideas for our own videos by looking back and pulling from those we admire. Taking a break to watch a great film or listen to an excellent album is a great way to remind yourself why you wanted to create in the first place. And sometimes this downtime can even be the catalyst for your next big idea. Filling the tank is what Lin-Manuel Miranda was doing when he picked up an 800-page biography on Alexander Hamilton. It's why Frank Ocean sometimes starts his recording days watching classic films with the sound off. Number 2, build a routine and stick to it. Regardless of how inspired you feel after consuming whatever films, books, or music you enjoy, you're not getting anywhere with your projects without good habits. A big part of our work this week is to build a production schedule, set up targets, and begin putting in the day-to-day work that's necessary for any creative project. As French painter Henri Matisse put it, don't wait for inspiration. It only comes when you're working. My goal this summer is to carve out 3 hours each day for undistracted work. That means no phone and no Wi-Fi. I don't expect it to be easy, but if I can use this summer to grow and develop this habit, I think it can do wonders for improving the projects I'm trying to make. Habit number 3, collaborate. While I love working by myself, there's only so much I can accomplish on my own. Eventually, whatever you're working on is going to need feedback, criticism, or in some cases, partnership with new people offering new ideas, skills, or ways to do things. This is one area where Cam is head and shoulders better than me. He's really good at building relationships with people, and by bringing on 2 of his friends to help with our Wim Hof video, we were able to get footage that just wouldn't have been possible were it just Cam and myself up there alone. And finally, number 4, look for new ways to challenge yourself. This is one thing that's been weighing on me right now is last week I posted a video on cutting fat in 30 days, and once that video was done and I watched it back, I couldn't shake the feeling that it looked a lot like something I'd made before. And that's not to say that working within a format is a bad thing, but with each video I make, I want to feel like I'm challenging myself, either with a sequence of editing, a visual choice, or the way I structure things from beginning to end. This is why filling the tank is so important, because it gives you a chance to find art that interests you and gives you something to pull from when you want to take your own work to another level. In 1920, German filmmaker Robert Wiene elevated his visual style when he decided to pull inspiration from expressionist paintings in the 1890s to create the jagged landscapes and surrealist sets of the Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. And 70 years later, those sets became the building block for Tim Burton's visual style in Edward Scissorhands, Batman, to Sweeney Todd. So whatever medium you're working in, take from what you love and find ways to build from it. Find new techniques, styles, and tools that challenge you to grow and work with people who push you to become better. I know this advice isn't complicated. It's probably even a little run-of-the-mill, but I'm making this video because I want to be better at these things, and saying it out loud adds accountability. I really hope some of this is helpful for you in moving forward with whatever projects or challenges you are working on. Until then, I'm going to get started by putting this advice into practice and get back to work.